The following program is a Nighthawk Network presentation.
That's the crown now. Just going down on. That's the crown now. Just going down on. That's the crown now. Welcome, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Rumble Time. I am your host, Queen Gemini, and boy, do we got a show for you this evening. To kick off the show, we're gonna talk about SmackDown. SmackDown was, whoo, it was on point. It was on point. It was on point. So let's get on into it. Now, to kick off the show, it kicked off with John Cena. John came to the ring. He opened up the show. He was thinking Chicago. SmackDown was his last time on SmackDown. He said that was his last time on SmackDown. It was his last time in Chicago. And the Chicago crowd did not disappoint. I got to give it to them. They was on it. He thanked the fans, and he went on to say how he debuted. They welcomed him, and he debuted in Chicago when he came down there to face Kurt Angle. And that started his journey with the fans, and everything was right there in Chicago. And I was like, oh dang, he was in Chicago. I didn't remember. I didn't really care. I remember when that happened, because I was like, who's this come down here go think he finna face Kurt Angle? And I was impressed with him then, because he actually was wrestling. And now that he's on the end of his career, he decides he wants to show us, yes, I can wrestle. I'm like, you son of a gun. But anyway, so he was doing this thing, and he was thanking everybody, and then Sammy came out. And when I say them people in Chicago was not nice to Sammy, oh, it was, they done booed post Sammy. Like, what Sammy do to y'all? Sammy ain't did nothing. He just came down to say thank you. He thanked John because, come to find out, 10 years ago, in Chicago, when John was the United States champion, and he had, the open challenge. He always did that open challenge. Sammy debuted against John through the United States Open Challenge. And so he asked, John, could he have the Sami Zayn Open Challenge, now that he's the United States champion? And John gave him his blessing, and it was a nice little Kodak moment. We thought that was the end of it. No. Sammy said, since you gave me that opportunity 10 years ago, I want to give you an opportunity. I want to face you right here tonight, right now, for the United States Championship. I was like, oh, okay. So our first match of the night was Sami Zayn facing John Cena for the United States Championship. That was a darn good match. Like I said, John was put. I was like, you've been able to wrestle all this time, and now you wait till you on your last leg, and you finna leave, and now you want to pull out all the stops. I guess he said, I'm going out with a bang. It was a good match. It really was. And I'm like, well, if you leave it, you're gonna take you win the title, you're gonna take the title. Which how this is gonna play out, right? Well, John hit from the top rope, an attitude adjustment on Sammy. So we got both guys laid out. Both of them laid out. I'm like, John, if you can just roll a little bit, honey. Roll, roll, roll. You could pin him and win. But wasn't nobody moving. I was like, Lord, I think that took something out of him. Both of them laid out. Next thing I know, guess what we hear? Brock Lesnar's music. I'm like, oh, sweet baby Jesus, no. No. I'm like, well, I can't, he can't run, so ain't no need of yelling run, because, yeah, both of them out. Brock done hit the ring. He done F5 Sammy just because Sammy was there. Sammy ain't got nothing to do with this. But hey, you there, I'm gonna F5 you. Then he set his sights on John. He done F5 John not once, but twice. I'm like, Lord, sweet baby Jesus. This man. And then he just walks out. Like he ain't did nothing. Like, I done did what I need to do. Bye. See y'all when I see you. And he walks out, leaves John just laying there. I'm like, oh Lord. So it was announced that at WrestlePalooza, John Cena will face Brock Lesnar. Whoo, WrestlePalooza is really starting to shaping up. It really is. I can't wait to see. I can't wait for this pay per view. I can't. This is gonna be a good one. Um. Now, one match I gotta talk about. I gotta talk. We had some other little matches. You know, that was the honey. When I say Nick Aldis, that's my GM. That's my GM. If they ever let him go, I will. Give him an applause, because if they ever let him go, I will have a whole hissy fit. Now, we had a match between Aleister Black and Damian Priest. I'm trying to figure out who Damian Priest thought he was in the ring with. I'm like, you didn't do your homework. You didn't do no kind of research. I'm like, you taking Alistair for a joke or something. You ain't got the upper hand, buddy. This is Alistair Black. You better go and look at some tapes before he got released. You know, you might want to go do some homework. Because Damon thought he had upper hand, honey. He had this little smirk on his face, and he taking his little straps down and stuff. And I'm like, dude, he finna hit you with black mass. He's finna hit you with black mass. I just kept saying it, and sure enough, he hit him with black mass. When I say he it's not funny. He hit him so hard when he came to, he looked like he was throwing up gang signs. I was like, see, that's what you get. You playing with Aleister Black. You got the wrong one. I'm like, that's what you get. I'm sad with Aleister. I mean, I like Damien and all. He's all nice and sweet and everything. But I I, I, I knew Aleister before I knew anything about a Damian Priest. I was pissed when Vince let him go. I was like, what kind of medication is you on? And I tried to watch when he went to AEW. I tried to watch when I could, and I just wanted to see Alistair. You know, that was my own. I was like, okay, let his contract run out and please go back to the WWE. When that contract ran out and they said he was going back, I was so happy I didn't know what to do. But yeah, Alistair got that. He got that win. He got that win. Now, like I said, we had some other little matches that they was not. SmackDown was fire. SmackDown was on point. Anybody miss it, you need to go back and take a look at that, honey. But what we all have been waiting for. Now, some people have been saying that CM Punk could be calling, he could bring out Becky, not Becky, sorry, Bayley. Or he could bring out Rhea to handle Becky. I'm like, no. I like both of them. I like both of them. Those are good choices. But that ain't who we need for this situation. That ain't who we need. So please, y'all just sit down somewhere and be quiet and let this happen. Let this play out. Well, we finally get to the moment of truth. Seth Little. Okay, let me watch my words. He up in the skybox. He up in the skybox. I'm like, okay, we doing this. So Becky comes out. She's in the ring. Of course, she running off at the mouth as usual. She talking about how Chicago sucks and everything. Then she said CM Punk sucks. So you know what happens next? Punk's music hits. Punk comes down. And he says, I could call Bayley or I could call Rhea. And she, she's still popping off at the mouth. I'm like, just, let it go, Heifer. But, but she couldn't do that. And she just had to put her hands on him again. I'm like, you don't believe fire will burn, do you? Punk got out the ring. She's still popping off at the mouth. Still popping off the mouth. So he stands there right there at the entranceway. He stands there. He says, I'm not, you better be glad I ain't gonna put my hands on a lady. But I know somebody that will. We all sitting there looking and waiting. And who music hit? AJ Lee. When I say I lit up my house, I'm just a hollering and I yelled, hell yeah. I forgot that my grandsons was here. Now the littlest one, but baby, he had already warned me about cussing. That's his biggest thing about. And they don't believe grandma no cussing. And I thought he was asleep. I heard them little feet ran in my room. Well, both of them came in my room. One done jumped on my back. The baby got my hand. He popping my hand. He telling me, I told you no cussing. My oldest grandson, he said, you act like you ain't got no home training. Ain't no yelling in the house. I'm like, okay. I'm sorry. I'm just excited. I'm really excited. Okay, y'all go and watch TV. Okay, but you need to calm down. I'm like, I am just too happy. I have out of all the returns that we have had so far this year, this has been this is the number one. This is number one on the list. This is the top one. Hey, coach. This has been I ain't never been so happy to see somebody. She done skipped all around that ring. She got up in that ring. I was like, oh, see, Becky just looking all shocked and horrified all at the same time. I'm like, too late now. See, you had a chance. See, all you had to do was keep your hands to yourself and mind your own daggone business. But no, you couldn't do that. So, yeah. Now it's time to pay. It's time to pay, buddy. Ooh, when I say she beat the crap out of Becky, I ain't never seen somebody. I ain't never been so happy to see somebody to get a beat down in my whole entire life. Oh, I was so thrilled. Oh, I'm like, okay, I can't. I was happy. I was just a clapping. I was like, yes, 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 yes. Becky done left a little belt and everything. And why why AJ got her belt? AJ had that belt. She pressed around with the belt. I'm like, you Billy Badass. You like putting your hands on people. Go on down there and get your belt, girl. I bet you she ain't go back down there. Now that's how SmackDown ended, with the return of AJ Lee and the beatdown of Becky Lynch. Woo, it was absolutely, it was wonderful. It was wonderful. Now, Saturday morning, I wake up to, now at Saturday morning, they had said that the return on across all of the WWE social media, her return had hit 92 million hits. By Monday, by the time Raw went on the air, it was up to 178 million views. Yes, everybody and their mom done watched that return. I done watched that return a few times over and over because that was just a thing of beauty. I'm telling you, I ain't never been so excited and happy to see somebody return in my whole entire life. Like I said, that is the number one return for the year. Out of all the returns, that is number one in my book. Cause so far, let's see, so far this year we have had. Let me see if I can find that list, cause I had a list. Okay, so far this year the top 5 returns has been Rusev, Aleister Black, Alexa Bliss, Brock Lesnar, and AJ Lee. AJ's number one. AJ's number one. And it's like she ain't hey, she ain't it's like she ain't been gone. And it's been 10 years. It's been 10 years. And I'm like, has it really been 10 years? Wow. Hey, it's honey, it's like she is not missed a beat. It's just like she literally just picked up where she left off. Now we get through SmackDown. Everybody's all hyped, been hyped all weekend long. Everybody's all hyped about AJ's back. AJ's back. Oh, everybody's, been on pit, just the excitement of her being back. So now we going into Raw. And I'm like, Adam Pierce, don't mess this up. Don't mess this up, because if you do, we're going to be looking for you, buddy. Well, we get to Raw. Raw show was not as good as SmackDown. It really wasn't. It kicks off with the Usos. This was lovely. It kicked off with the Usos. The Usos are back together. And yeah, I kind of felt sorry for the Brawns, because I'm like, y'all don't need to talk. Y'all on the mic going up against the Usos on the mic is not a good thing. This is not good for y'all. Yeah. Stop talking. You're making yourself look dumber than you already look. Just stop talking. So we got a match now with the Usos going up against the Brawns at WrestlePalooza. Okay. So, yeah, Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. Okay, let me. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna be nice because I can't think of nothing nice to say about them too. But anyway, I'm like, so they're going having their little back and forth. And Lord have mercy, why the LA Knight come out here? He done attack the Bronze or whatever. End up everybody's in the ring. Bronson Reed ends up Jay's in the corner, and Bronson Reed ends up splashing him because LA Knight got out of the way. So now Jay thinks LA Knight did it on purpose. I'm like, oh, yeah, this ain't looking good. So they make a match. It's a match for LA Knight to face Bronson Reed. That's the main event. That's gonna be the main event. I'm like, okay. You couldn't find nothing else, but okay, we're gonna go along with it. So yeah, Jay's pissed about this. he packs. He's got his bag. He's finna roll out. We in back. We get to the back. Everything. He's finna roll out. Jimmy's like, gotta help LA. Jay was like, did you not see him try to take me out? But Jimmy was like, that's an accident. He was like, I talked to him. It was an accident. And he was like, nah. He's like, look, is me and you, and the way he was talking, he was like, helping him does not help us. We got them in WrestlePalooza. It does not help me get my world title back. And I was like, why are you sounding like Roman? And just as I got it out, Jimmy turns around and says the same thing. He says, bro, you starting to sound like Roman. And he said, maybe because sounding like myself is not working. I said, oh, sweet baby Jesus. Jay finna snap and turn heel. Oh, y'all buckle up. Is y'all still gonna be eating when he flip? Because I have a feeling he finna flip. Because he getting a little tired. Ooh, this ain't looking good. Then we go on to have we have a lot of stuff has happened backstage. It's like a lot of like it was just a lot of backstage segments, it seemed like, because Nikki Bella was talking to Io. That's who talking to Io. I think she was congratulating her. When Nikki come on, I zone all the way out because I don't want to hear nothing she has to say. But if I'm not mistaken, she was congratulating her about her, title shot in the whole 9 yards. And Asuka came up, and Asuka, was talking her junk. And she was, Nikki, run off at the mouth, like, hey, I'll face you night. And Oscar was like, well, come on. I was like, girl, don't get in that ring with no Oscar. Don't get in the ring with no Oscar because you ain't going to beat no Oscar. While we got a match with Nikki Bella and Oscar. Watching Nikki wrestle is just heartbreaking. It's just gut wrenching. Oscar won. She got her in the Oscar lock, and Nikki didn't have no choice. She tapped out. Once again, we got a backstage segment. I'm like, we got a lot of stuff going on backstage. So and Nikki, Nikki and Oscar clashing again. Nikki, we can go again. I'm like, no, honey, no, 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 you can't go again because you just lost. No, we don't need a repeat. So just, please just go somewhere and sit down. Well, Rhea came up, thank God. Yeah, and I ain't never been so. I was happy to see Rhea. I was like, yes, Lord, Rhea's here. Thank you. And because Oscar was like, I am the number one woman back here, in the locker room and all this crap. And she was like, wait a minute, don't Io have a shot at the women's title? Shouldn't you be happy for her? Did you not forget that? That didn't sit too well with Oscar. Well, Oscar went on saying something in Japanese. I think she just, I was saying myself, I think she just cussed y'all all out. She done yelled for poor Kyrie, saying Kyrie jumping and stuff. I'm like, Lord, Oscar, stop yelling at her. You're gonna give her a nervous condition. You keep yelling at that poor girl like that. Oh, let's talk about my boy AJ Styles. AJ had a match with that El Grande Americana person, whatever. But AJ said something that was true. And he said, somebody here does not want me here. There's somebody that does not want me here. And so everybody believes he's throwing shots at Triple H because we do not appreciate that he did not get that Intercontinental Championship. Now, he signed on for another year. He's saying after this year, this is it. Dominic Mysterio is not better than AJ Styles. This is the phenomenal AJ Styles. Dominic Mysterio is, all he is doing is recycling old tricks and using L whatever to cheat. Okay? He's using Eddie's old tricks and he's using El Grande or whatever his name is. Who cares? We talking about, I've watched AJ Styles since his TNA days. AJ says it's all conspiracy. I ain't got nobody to watch my back. Gallows and Anderson is gone. They got released. What's her name? Michin? She's over on SmackDown. Nobody's to watch my back. Somebody, and he kept, somebody does not want me here. And some fans have commented, made tweets about it. And his son chimed in on one of them tweets and agreed, yeah, he don't like how his dad is being booked either. I mean, are they plotting on AJ? Yeah, they plotting on AJ. This is the phenomenal AJ Styles. AJ, like I said, I've watched his career over the years from TNA all the way up until now. This, yeah, ain't no way he should not have gotten that daggone title. He should be, last night he should have been celebrating being the Intercontinental Champion. He really should have been. So I'm curious to see how this plays out because this is starting to really tick me off. Yes, he is. He really is. He is one of the best. And I'm like, I don't like I don't like this. I don't like this at all. I don't like this. I don't appreciate this. So he made mention for he had his match, but he showed Beach Boy. I'm like, now you showed me, even though the deck was stacked against him, he still pulled off that win. He got that win. I'm like, see, that's what I'm talking about. Y'all better stop playing with my boy. So now what all the SmackDown fans had been waiting for, they was waiting like everybody, all the rest of them was waiting for to see who? AJ. AJ Lee. She comes out and she explained it was it was perfect. It was perfect. She reintroduced herself and she reminded all in one promo of who she is. It was perfect. It couldn't got no better. She said, she been gone for 10 years. She thought she had done everything there was to do in the wrestling business. She hung up her Chuck Taylors. And she went on, she set new goals and she achieved those goals and everything. And she said she had to get her mind right. She had, she had to work on her mental, and she said she went to therapy and all that good stuff. And she said then she was looking at Raw. Ooh. Oh yeah, she came out with the Intercontinental. Let me back up just a little bit. She comes out with the women's Intercontinental title around her waist. Yeah, put that title on my girl. Put that title on my girl. Look good on her. But yeah, and so she's, of course, Becky had to come out and everything, and she's like, give me my belt back. And she's like, come get it. Come get it. So Becky kind of takes her glasses off. Becky got a nice little shiner. And she's like, hey, you got a little shiner right there. She said, I'm sorry about that. She said, sometimes I black out. I'm like, yeah, you stop. You brought that on yourself. You brought that on yourself. You shouldn't. Yeah. Yeah, some people you just don't mess with. Because all weekend, everybody had been saying, you know, she made being crazy cool. Yeah. There was a clip that was been circulating all weekend. It was She was upset. I remember it was backstage. I remember this, but I don't remember what had set her off. She was crying. Punk was trying to console her, and he, kind of, patting her and everything. Her head was in his chest. And then, he was talking to her, and then she pops her little head up, and she just totally stops crying. And I remember back then, I said, "See, she's crazy." And he said, "I kind of dig crazy chicks," and I'm like, and I remember that back then. So, whew, so yeah, I hate it for Becky. So last, because it was just perfect last night. It was just a reintroduction and a reminder, all in one. Like I said, and she told him. She said, "I'm the reason. I'm some of your favorite wrestlers. Wrestler. And I'm. You're wondering why some of your millennial parents pretty much lost their minds when they saw me. Hey, this is why." So Raw was perfect. So she's got the Intercontinental. She's telling Becky to come on, come get it. Becky ain't trying to get up in that ring because she was like, one, two things gonna happen. You risk getting another black eye. I was like, go on, Becky. Go on. Because you had no problems before putting your hand on people. Go on up in there and get your title. Or we can have a tag match. Her and Punk face her and Seth. So Seth brings his little goofy looking self down there. You never know from one week to the other, from what he gonna come out wearing. It just amazes me. But anyway, he comes out and he's like, okay, I know you've been gone, and you don't understand how things work. Now, by this point, the belt, in the ring, like, come on and get it. So he gets his little stupid behind because he's like, I'm gonna get your belt. I'm gonna get your belt. And he gets up in the ring. AJ jumps, leaps in front of the belt, like you're not getting that belt. So it's either you accept the challenge or you're not getting this belt. But if you accept the challenge, I'll give the belt back. So Seth, who he still trying to get this belt. She's blocking him. He done got all up in his feelings. Guess who's on their way down there? Of course, CM Punk is on his way down there. He walks up behind Becky. Becky backs up into him, and she's like, "Oh crap!" Well, yeah, but this is what happens when you poke the bear. This is what y'all get. You thought fire wouldn't burn, huh? Okay. So he almost got to go to sleep. So he's all mad in his feelings. He said, "You know what? You know what? You want this? Fine." He agrees to the tag match. Becky's pissed, like, what the? This ain't what I want. Did you see? I know she's saying, did you see what she did to me Friday? Is you high? After she agreed, AJ took that belt and threw it at him. It was just absolutely wonderful. It was wonderful. I ain't never been so happy in my life. So at WrestlePalooza, we are going to have CM Punk and AJ Lee facing Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. Woo! When I say WrestlePalooza is starting to shape it up nicely. Oh, it's starting to shape it up nicely. Okay. Let's talk about the main event. Y'all. Yo, I don't know why this was the main event. I zoned out a few times because I just got bored with it. Because you kind of knew who was going to win. You're fighting two people. You are literally fighting two people. You are by yourself. Well, Bronson Reed got the win. He got the win. I mean, we knew it was going. I mean, it was kind of obvious that he was going to get it. So afterwards, the Bronze started beating the crap out of LA Knight. I was like, here we go with this crap. Well, Big Jim is coming down, to help. He's on his way. But of course, the number game, it's the numbers game. But I mean, I'm like, Jay's gone. Jay's gone. Well, we thought Jay was gone. We heard the music hit, and here comes Jay. I was like, okay, we should have known better. He wasn't gonna leave his brother hanging like that. So, yeah. Yeah, they I mean, it had a good run, and then of course it's the numbers. Because LA Knight, I think he rolled out in the ring, was on the outside, whatever. But he did, I will give him credit. He did come in and with a chair. When he came in with that chair and started swinging them, they like, okay, yeah, it's time for us to go. So the Bron's like, okay, in the story, they out. So he goes over to Jay and he's like, okay, we straight, we're good. Jay ain't said a word. He goes over to Big Jim and he helps Big Jim up, right? And, Big Jim, thanks him, daps him up and everything. Like, appreciate you coming out, helping the whole 9 yards and everything. So Jay, gets up and everything. So you think everything gonna be cool and everything is straight. Lord, why did LA turn towards in his direction facing him? Jay done speared LA Knight. I was like, oh, you just challenging all of Roman. He done speared LA Knight, looked at him, and left up out of the ring. Jim is like, he kind of like, dude, you all right? Oh, dang, my brother just speared the crap out of it. I'm sorry. He's looking at Jay like, man, what was that for? Like, why you do that? Why you do that? Why you doing that? Oh, I know. Big Jim was like, oh, he really don't like you. That's how Raw ended. That's how Raw ended. I was like, you really don't like LA Knight, huh? Oh well. So this is gonna be interesting to see what happens next Monday. Now, just for a little bit of wrestling news. Wade Barrett is out. He's on vacation. They made mention of it last night. He was on vacation. And I'm glad they did that because it hit social media that Nikki Bella had an issue with him that she talked about on her little podcast with her sister, that because she was in her feelings because of Clash in Paris about what Wade had said during the pre-show, that Nikki was desperate. She's desperate for a win. She just looks desperate. I didn't see where he told a lie. And she made it seem like Wade was avoiding her. Wade got on his, and then it came out that he was not going to be on the commentary table. So everybody was like, she done got him fired and all of this. I'm like, she ain't got that kind of power. And Wade gets on my nerves, but no, no. This ain't, no, we ain't finna let this ride. So he made a tweet. He's like, look, y'all, normally I do not answer, I don't comment to BS, but I had to say something. So, because apparently people was jumping into her behind really bad. He said, look, I am taking some personal time. I have requested this 9 months ago. So that's why I'm going to be out. I will be back, and it'll be back to business as usual. I was like, okay, you better tell somebody something. And then they made the announcement last night that he was on vacation. I'm like, yeah, you better tell people something, because the way she made it seem like he was avoiding her. So she wanted to have a conversation because she was upset about something that he said, which she didn't know nothing about. Then all she had to do was say something to him. She looked dead at him on the Raw after Clash in Paris, and she never parted her lips. So, hey, it is what it is. So yeah, I think she took fans just, was not playing that, I think people are pretty much over her. They're just, at this point, they're tired of her. I know I am. Some people are speculating that her sister may make a return. I'm like, we don't need this. Come on, guys. Yeah. Not another round. Um, Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle needs to stay off of whatever he's on, and it ain't trees. Because he keeps he's gonna mess around and write a check that his behind ain't gonna be able to cash. Seriously, because he said something about AJ, and then he said it was something negative. Because I'm not even finna repeat that crap. And then he said, but she was always nice to me. So we was like, what is you talking about? Cause you ain't never met AJ. You was not there during AJ's time period. Well, after putting two together, we all figured out he is talking about Paige. Like, oh sweet baby Jesus, he done got Paige and AJ mixed up. Lord, whatever he's on, he needs to. I know they say he has been to rehab, but it did not work. It did not work at all. Now they're saying it was announced that Triple H announced on the Pat McAfee show that Cody Rhodes will return for WrestlePalooza. I don't know how that's gonna happen because he's filming the little, what is it, Street Fighter movie. So unless he really ain't got that many scenes or whatever, or they getting his stuff filmed, and it's not gonna take that long for filming on him, or however this is gonna go. I don't see how that's gonna play out, but we just gonna have to wait and see, because matches are still being added. So yeah, you never know. You never know. Yeah, y'all get a load of this. Ronda Rousey has said she will never return to the WWE because they fired her best friend Shayna Baszler and Marina, whatever. Schaefer. Exactly. My feelings exactly. Um, as I recall, like somebody had mentioned, Marie, whatever her name is, she's in AEW walking around carrying John Moxley's luggage. I ain't seen her wrestle nobody yet. Every time I see, she's supposed to be muscle for John Moxley. That's all I've seen her do. And Shayna had returned to produce a match for NXT. Now, I don't know if it's gonna be an ongoing thing, but I do know she did return for to produce one of the matches. Um, but we don't care. Okay, you're not gonna come. I don't recall anybody asking for you. I swear, some people think they more than what they are. Yeah, we're good. We are good. So, just a quick update. Just a quick update. So far, the matches that we have right now for WrestlePalooza: AJ Lee and CM Punk versus Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. John Cena facing Brock Lesnar. The Uso. Now, some people are trying to be nice and call them the Vision. They don't want to call them the Bron Brons. I'm gonna call them the Bron Brons. I would like to call them something else, but I'm trying to keep this. I'm kind of trying to keep it cute. Because you never know. One of my grandsons might hear this, and then they'll be on me, like, Grandma, we heard you cuss. When did you hear me cuss on your show? Let me. So I'm gonna be nice. I'm not gonna call them anything hateful. And then so far, the only title match that we have is for the vacant women's world title match. Is Stephanie Vakir will face Io Sky. So far, it is shaping up really, really nicely. So, oh, and a reminder, next week Raw will start at 7. The new start time for Raw for the next 3 Mondays will be 7 because of Monday Night Football. They want to see how that time slot will work out for them. So, and Thursday it will be we are going to talk about our dream matches, past and present. So, I am looking forward to that. So everybody get ready for Thursday. Remember your dream matches. Book your dream matches, past or present. Whether if they're, you know, still on the past, if they're, still, here, or if they've gone on home to be with the Lord. Um but back when they, in their prime, who would you have liked to have seen them go up against? So that's going to be fun. So I can't wait for that. So this has been fun. And I will see you guys on Thursday. Bye.